The transmission crackled through the void of space, its distorted signal barely penetrating the electromagnetic storms surrounding the outer rim of human territory. Communications Officer Jake Martinez adjusted the frequency filters at his station, aboard the monitoring post Luna 7, his brow furrowed as he worked to clean up the desperate message. "This is Ambassador Kell of the Vorthan Republic." The alien voice finally came through clearly, speaking in heavily accented but understandable English. "We are under siege by the Ravager Horde. Our worlds burn. Our people die. We have heard whispers of Earth's military might from traitors in the outer sectors. Please, if there is any mercy in your species, we beg for your aid." Jake immediately forwarded the transmission to Earth Command. Within 6 hours, the message had reached the highest levels of the Terran Defense Council. Admiral Robert Hayes, a weathered veteran of the Proxima Wars, stood before the assembled council members in the war room beneath New Geneva. The Vorthan Republic consists of 12 inhabited worlds, Intelligence Director Lisa Park reported, holographic star charts, floating above the conference table. Population roughly 8 billion across all systems. They're a peaceful federation, primarily focused on agriculture and scientific research. No significant military capability. Admiral Hayes studied the tactical display showing the Vorthan systems. Red markers indicated Ravager Horde positions, while blue dots represented the few remaining Vorthan defensive stations. The situation looked grim. "What do we know about these Ravagers?" Hayes asked. "Nomadic species," Park continued. "They've been sweeping through this sector for the past 50 years, consuming resources and enslaving populations. Their technology appears roughly equivalent to our own, but they vastly outnumber any single opponent. The Vorthans estimate the Horde fleet at over 3,000 vessels." Council Chairman Marcus Webb leaned forward. 3,000 ships? Our entire active fleet consists of maybe 800 vessels. This could be a trap. Or, Hayes countered, this could be exactly what it appears to be. A desperate people calling for help. He activated his personal display, showing deployment schedules. The 5th, 7th, and 9th fleets are currently on patrol duty. We could have them at the Vorthan border within 2 weeks. The debate continued for hours, but ultimately humanity's nature won out. Despite the risks, despite the distance, despite facing an enemy of unknown strength, the Council voted to respond to the Vorthan plea for assistance. Admiral Hayes took personal command of the relief operation. His flagship, the dreadnought Indomitable, led a force of 240 vessels toward Vorthan space. The fleet represented the cream of human naval engineering, sleek destroyers bristling with railgun batteries, massive cruisers carrying fighter squadrons, and the fearsome dreadnoughts with their planet-cracking main guns. Captain David Ross of the battlecruiser Thunderstrike reviewed intelligence reports as the fleet approached the first Vorthan system. Long-range sensors showed the devastation clearly. Orbital installations hung in ruins, their twisted metal hulks drifting silently through space. The planet's surface bore the scars of orbital bombardment. "My God," Ross whispered, watching the tactical display update with new contacts. 40 Ravager ships still in system, strip mining the asteroid belt. Hayes's voice came across the fleet communication channel. "All ships, this is Admiral Hayes. We're looking at a textbook predator species operation. They hit hard, overwhelm defenses, then systematically loot everything of value. Time to show them what happens when they pick on someone under human protection." The Ravager ships were impressive in their own right, built for intimidation as much as function. Massive angular vessels covered in weapon emplacements and boarding equipment. Their hulls bore the scars of countless battles, painted with symbols that likely represented conquered worlds. When the human fleet dropped out of hyperspace at the system's edge, the Ravagers immediately moved to intercept. Their formation was aggressive but undisciplined, clearly expecting another easy victory against a smaller force. They had never faced humans in battle before. The engagement lasted exactly 18 minutes. Human ships moved with precision that seemed almost choreographed, their targeting systems linking together to concentrate fire on priority targets. The Ravagers' heavy armor meant nothing against focused volleys from multiple railgun batteries. Their boarding craft, designed to overwhelm and capture enemy vessels, found themselves outmaneuvered by human fighters that danced between the larger ships like angry hornets. By the time reinforcements arrived from deeper in Ravager territory, Admiral Hayes had positioned his fleet in a defensive formation around the surviving Vorthon installations. 300 additional Ravager vessels faced off against the human force, their commanders clearly reassessing the situation. The second battle lasted considerably longer, but the outcome was never truly in doubt. Human tactical doctrine emphasized flexibility and combined arms coordination. Ravager strategy relied on overwhelming force and intimidation. When intimidation failed and their numbers proved insufficient, they found themselves fighting an enemy that adapted faster than they could respond. After the decisive victory at the Second Battle of Keth Prime, surviving Ravager forces began a general withdrawal from Vorthon space. The Horde, which had never encountered serious resistance in this sector, discovered that some prey fought back with lethal efficiency. Ambassador Kell stood on the bridge of his damaged command ship, watching human engineering teams work to restore power to his vessel's critical systems. Tears ran down his scaled cheeks as he spoke to Admiral Hayes via communication link. "We cannot repay this debt," Kell said, his voice thick with emotion. "You came across the void to aid strangers, asking nothing in return." Hayes smiled grimly. "Ambassador, there's something you should understand about humans. We have a saying, no one fights alone. When someone calls for help against bullies and predators, we answer. It's just who we are." The rescue of the Vordan Republic marked humanity's emergence as a major galactic power, but more importantly, it established Earth's reputation as a species that would cross any distance to stand beside those who could not stand alone.